Thank you very much. We are very appreciative of you. Next to speak with us is Dr. Steffen Bethmann. Dr. Steffen Bethmann, before you speak, let me take a moment and read something briefly about him. He's the Executive Director of Melton Foundation. He holds a PhD in Sociology from Max Weber Institute of the University of Heidelberg, and a Diploma of Advanced Studies in Non-Profit Management and the University of Basel. Before he assumed the position of Executive Director, Steffen worked for Center for Philanthropy Studies of the University of Basel and Bexley in Berlin. He currently lives in Chile, where he enjoys the beautiful landscapes by hiking, open water swimming, and or on his bicycle. I'm told he loves bicycles. He is here to speak on the topic, transformative impact of global citizenship participation among youth. This is because Melton Foundation is a powerhouse when it comes to global citizenship activities, and we are very excited to have Dr. Steffen Bethmann with us. Dr. Steffen Bethmann, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure and an honor for me to be here with you. I'm really amazed and also very proud to be part of this honorable panel of speakers and panelists, and big shout out to TECHFARM, our partner since a couple of months, years even, on organizing events, and we're really also very honored and proud to count with such strong and innovative partners in Ghana and in Africa. So it's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. The title that I was asked to speak is about the transformative impact of global citizenship participation among youth. And to do so, I'd like to take a little detour and first explain what is global citizenship, or what does it mean. It's a word with many connotations. Everybody who hears it has probably a different idea about it, and the ones that I have is also not the final one, but I think it's something that we can use to trigger innovation, not only for decent jobs or agriculture innovations, but also as an idea to work really together across boundaries to help solve the biggest challenges that we face today in the world. So all of us, when we grow up, when we were born into this world, we develop certain kinds of identities. Some traits are given to us through birth, for example, skin color, gender, also the core family relations we're born into. Some other traits are ascribed to us. People may say, oh, he behaves in a way because he's German. Or he'd say, look at her, she's Chinese, that's why she behaves in a certain way. This goes for ethnic groups, religions, or any other kind of traits that people use to differentiate them from others. You might even say you're a Bavarian, you're a Chilean, a Ghanaian, or a Kusazi, Akan, or Gurma. But we also may look at larger identities, for example, saying I'm African, or I'm European, or I'm Latin, or I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. So we really hold many, many different identities within us. These identities shape our way of thinking to a certain extent. Each culture has its own myth, traditions, stories that are told to you from being very, very young, and that you learn in eternal life. So I'm always told to be punctual because apparently being punctual is something German. Yeah. So I often get a little bit excited or a little bit angry or nervous if a meeting starts and 2 minutes earlier my colleagues are not there. Maybe that's something that was given to me through the cultural environment. So having said that, that's what a Dutch anthropologist who was called Gert Hofstede told once, was that this is the software of our mind. We are programmed in a little thing, if you want to make the analogy, to computers. Our body is the hardware and our brain is the storage of our software, and our cultural traits are kind of informing us or programming a little bit our ways of thinking. Obviously, like any other softwares, you can update, you can mix, you can write, you can change the code. But I like this analogy to think about that there is a specific kind of cultural influence that helps us to understand the way around we're living, gives us a little bit of a thought about understanding the world, and shapes our behavior to a certain extent. On the same time, we are born into this world as citizens. Mostly, we all think of citizens of being part of a nation state. We believe that we are Germans, Ghanaians, and so forth, and that's also what it says in our passport. If you open your passport, you're a clearly defined person in the sense in which nationality you belong to. The best way to organize our world at the moment actually are nation states. So global citizenship is not questioning nation states or local culture. We found that through nation states, for example, in Europe, in Africa, in Latin America, and so we need smaller pieces of land that are able to govern themselves more clearly in their local kind of necessities and needs. So global citizenship in that means is not a critique of the nation states, but tries to go a little bit further. At the same time, our nation states are questioned a little bit throughout world history, saying that some of the borders, especially I believe in Northern Africa, are made arbitrarily by the colonists. Instead of thinking about ethnic groups, they're just straight lines, or in Europe we've had decades or centuries of wars, and so these lines somehow are well defined. Sometimes they are very much in conflict. But the idea of the nation state is that you belong to a certain group of people. And this means that you are asked to fulfill some responsibilities, for example, paying taxes, acting lawfully, and so forth. But in the ideal world, you also receive a lot of privileges. For example, security, education, access to health. This differs, of course, from country to country, but we think of it as something that also supports you. So global citizenship is not questioning these national boundaries, but what it really does says that we really enjoy and we celebrate diversity. With diversity, we mean that we accept and love that there is so many diversity in humanity, but in the end, what it means is that we have to acknowledge that we are all part of one world, of one human family. We might look different, we might have different histories, but we really are part of one big human family. And as this family, we only share one planet, planet Earth. There is no other planet at reach at the moment, even though you might have seen the billionaires in the United States trying to make commercial air travel possible, but there is no other planet very close to us that we can conquer, and we shouldn't. We should take care of our planet as it is. So global citizenship, in a sense, means that the diversity that we have in the world is celebrated, but that we need to collaborate across boundaries of place, identity, and time to work together on these challenges that we're faced with. So we really need you, the youth, to think or to feel like you're global citizens. That means that you're aware of the problems that are around you, but that you also feel responsible of doing something, not just being at the sideline and thinking, and that's natural, I do it myself, think, how can I construct the best life for myself? But by doing so, also to look around you and think, how can I help the others around me? How can I tackle these problems that we face, and which are very well also expressed in the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. I see here, for example, you picked two very important topics, which is decent work and food security. And I tell you, we need especially you, young people, to work as global citizens. If you just think about it, what was released 2 days ago, I don't know if you read it, but the international panel, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change just launched their second report, or their sixth report in their specific series, second in terms of the scientific findings. And there they could show once again that climate change is man-made. It's real, it's man-made, and if we don't change course, pretty soon we'll see more droughts, more heavy rainfalls, more floods, more difficult situations arising that actually jeopardize once again what you're fighting for, food security. Just here in my neighborhood, in Germany, I'm actually visiting my parents at the moment, we had the biggest floods in centuries. So more than 100 people died, even in a country that supposedly is developed. There was no warning systems, whole villages got swept away, and we see that as a result of climate change. The crops here are very much in danger because of very high heat seasons and so forth. In Chile, where I live, there is not enough water to actually put on the fields, so the crops are dying in summer as well. So we have these challenges, and to confront them, we need you, the youth, to think that you're global citizens, that you work together across boundaries, that you don't just think own personal development, but that within that you always think, what can we do to support that this world grows and stays actually livable? So global citizenship is an idea that talks about responsibility, awareness, and action. And I promise you, I think you've already experienced this right here in your innovation marathons that are always so beautifully organized by TECHFARM. Is once you form groups, once you have an idea how to work together, the first phase is always difficult to get to know each other. But then something beautiful arises that is done through teamwork, through a common purpose, that you believe that together you can do a difference, you can make a difference. And that is what I think is what global citizenship means. Taking care of this world, collaborating across boundaries, thinking about innovation, and supporting that this world that we live in is preserved as a peaceful place where we all can live. And I think when you do these little acts of global citizenship, you will feel the transformative power. You will feel when you see that you've helped something, that you solved the problem, that it is possible to do something, that nobody else can tell you different. There will be barriers, there will be challenges, but the benefits of doing something and helping something are tremendous. So I ask you once again, be a global citizen. You will feel it, you will imagine it, and you will make a big purpose and a big support to us, to the world we live in. And I really hope that we can soon meet again and work together on these issues. So thank you very much for the time. And I'm very honored once again to have had the possibility to speak to you. Thank you.
Very much, Dr. Steffen Bethmann, Executive Director of Melton Foundation. Melton Foundation, by the way, has been around for over 30 years. Melton Foundation has been doing a lot of things across the globe, and they've also partnered with Ashesi University here in Ghana as their main partners, but I'm sure TECHFARM is building momentum. Thank you very much, Dr. Bethmann, for joining us in today's session. Thank you very much, and grateful.